Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Kelly and this is Yaya's Simple Living. So today I thought we would do a fun project on 5 DIY snacks that you can make for your family and you'll never buy store-bought again. So these are homemade, healthy, you know what ingredients are going into them, and your family will love them. So please comment below and tell me what your favorite snack is. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and go ahead and hit that bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. I'm putting my hair up here so I don't get hair in my snacks. And let me know again in the comments what your favorite snack is, and don't forget to hit that thumbs up button so that you can let the algorithm know that you enjoyed this video. So if this sounds like something that would interest you, go ahead and let's get started with our cooking. Okay, so for our first snack we're gonna do roasted chickpeas, and what I have here are chickpeas that I have soaked overnight and then cooked them off this morning. You can use canned chickpeas. I just don't really use canned chickpeas. And if you would like to see me make a video on how I make hummus and homemade tahini, go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know. So this is equivalent to 2 15-ounce cans of chickpeas. So we have drained them, rinsed them, cooked them up, and let them cool down. So to that, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of olive oil, and I have my stove heating up to 400 degrees, or my oven. So 2 tablespoons of olive oil. We're gonna do a teaspoon of, a teaspoon of smoked paprika, and I actually have our smoky paprika blend that we made the other day in our last video, our spice video. So I'm going to go ahead and use that for this recipe. And then we're going to do half a teaspoon of garlic powder and half a teaspoon of salt. And we're going to mix all this up. Oop. I'm going to throw some chickpeas around apparently. Mix it all up, make sure everything's coated and got that beautiful flavor. And that looks wonderful. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pour it out onto our cookie sheet, which I have lined with parchment paper. And I'm going to spread it into a thin layer. And then once my oven is heated up, I'm going to roast these in the 400-degree oven for about 30 to 40 minutes, and I'm going to shake it halfway through. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this over on the stove to get ready to roast when my oven preheats, and we will get cleaned up and started on our next project, our next snack. Okay, we are back. Our next recipe is going to be for Chewy granola bars, and these are no-bake granola bars, which is very nice. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we have to heat up our peanut butter and our honey. So I have half a cup of peanut butter. I'm not gonna lie, your girl just made this peanut butter in her blender. So we've just dry roasted peanuts that I got from Azure Standard. So it is absolutely the freshest peanut butter. Then we're going to add half a cup of honey, if I can get the jar open. Let me find my little jar opener. Okay. And this is the raw berry wildflower honey, also from Azure. And we're going to do half a cup of honey. You could also do maple syrup if you'd rather do that. I just prefer the honey. Okay. And then we're going to heat these up on our stovetop until they are nice and smooth and blended together. Okay. And my hands are clean. Okay, so let me get this over on the stovetop and get that started, and then we're going to measure out the rest of our ingredients. My honey is flowing down the side of my bottle. Okay. Put that lid back on. All right, I'll be right back. Let me get this started on heating up. Okay, so now we are going to add, while that is heating up, let me make sure it's heating up. Okay, so our peanut butter and honey is heated up. To a bowl, we are going to add, if I can get this open, 2 cups of rolled oats, okay, and 1 cup of rice cereal. Then we're going to add in we're going to add some vanilla to our honey peanut butter mix. And it's 1 teaspoon. But again, your girl measures vanilla with her heart. So we're getting this all mixed up. And we're going to pour this over our mixture. Okay, get that aside. And now we stir. Want to make sure everything is coated. These are quick and easy. And because you know all the ingredients going into them, they are relatively healthy. Now, Azure Standard does sell a brown rice cereal. I have not tried it yet, but I'll bet that would be delicious with this, and it's organic, so I'm sure it would be lovely. I don't really keep cereal in my house, so I had to walk down to the store this morning and get some. And then we're going to add to this a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips, or you can add fruit. So my recipe says to add it into or onto the top of these once you get them in the pan. So actually, I think I am going to do that. All right. So I have my pan here. And it's an 8x8, and I've got it lined with parchment. I'm going to put my mixture in there. And I want to get everything out. And I'm going to get a bigger spatula to press it in. It's sliding all over. Actually, I'm going to use my hands because that'll be easier. Let me get my hands wet real quick. Oh, way easier to use my hands. And just so y'all know, my hands are clean. So I want to make sure that everything is even, that there's no thin spots, there's no thick spots. The other thing you could add to this if you wanted, I imagine, is some protein powder to just up the protein. And we're going to make some energy bites, and I think I am going to add some protein powder to that. Let me wash my hands, and then we're going to add the chocolate chips. Okay. And now we're going to sprinkle a 1/4 cup of chocolate chips over the top. Oops, sorry about the noise. You could use mini chocolate chips, regular chocolate chips. I don't have mini, so I'm just using regular. And press those in. I'm going to need a few more because I want to make sure there's chocolate chips all the way around. So I ended up with like a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. And by not mixing the chocolate chips in with it, we save them from melting. I'm just trying to press them all down so they're all secure in there. Might have been easier with mini chocolate chips, but that's okay. Next time I'll use minis. You could use peanut butter chips. You could use white chocolate chips. You can use dried fruit instead of chocolate chips. It's your kitchen. You use what you want. And I am also going to take my little mini rolling pin, and I'm going to roll these in there. This is going to help press those in there too. And if I can find one of these rolling pins, I will go ahead and put it in my Amazon shop for you. So now this is going to go into the refrigerator for a couple of hours until it sets up, and then we'll come back and cut it. Excuse me. Let me get this cleaned up, and we'll go on to our next snack. Okay, we're back, and we are going to make our no-bake energy bites. So for this, I'm going to need a cup of rolled oats, and I'm going to need 1/2 cup of peanut butter, and this is peanut butter that I made this morning. So it is literally just unsalted dry roasted peanuts, and I added a little bit of salt in there. My hands are clean. Just trying to get all of the peanut butter off of them. Okay, then we're gonna need 1/3 cup of honey. And I'm using the raw honey from Azure Standard. A little bit more honey, come on. Okay. Ooh, it's all over. Okay. And I did spray my measuring cup here so that the honey would come out easier. Then to that, we are going to add in, let me put the lid on this, a 1/4 cup of protein powder. Let me grab one more thing. Okay, I'm back. I had to grab my golden flaxseed because we're going to add golden flaxseed to this as well. a 1/4 cup. And we're going to add a 1/4 cup of chocolate protein powder. That is optional. The flaxseed is also optional. And we're going to add in, and I found in my cabinet a few little mini chocolate chips, so we're going to add those in. Okay. And we're going to mix it all up. Now, if you find with the protein powder that it's a little dry, we can add more honey or more peanut butter. I will probably add more honey for the simple reason that I don't have any more peanut butter. I only made enough for these 2 recipes, sadly. I should have made more, but I didn't. And it does take a minute to make sure everything's stirred in. I'm going to get a bigger spatula here. Okay. Now, if you find that this is a little bit too stiff, you can put it in the microwave for like 15 seconds to heat it up a little bit, which is what I'm going to do, so we'll be right back. Okay, we are back. And that did loosen it up just a tad bit. I didn't want to melt anything. Okay, so we have this mixed up. Now we are going to put it in our refrigerator and we are going to let this chill for a few hours, I believe. Let me look at my recipe real quick. We're going to chill it for 20 minutes and then we'll come back and we're going to make it into the balls and then those will be stored in the refrigerator. So I will be back when we are ready to roll these into balls. I am going to put it in a smaller bowl because my refrigerator is getting very full. All right, so let me put this in the refrigerator and we'll be back shortly to roll them out. Okay, we are back and we are going to start rolling out our energy bites, our protein energy bites. Oop. And they're falling apart. And then we're just going to store them in our container here. And we'll store them in the refrigerator. So these are nice to just throw in like a little container if you're going to the park for the day or for a snack at work. Just something in between to tide you over that's going to have some protein in it because you have some protein from the peanut butter and protein from your protein powder. You've got the flax seed in there, which is good for you, and you've got the oats. And it's much healthier than reaching for a peanut butter cup. But it tastes just as good because you got the honey in there, so you've got some natural sweetness, and you have the chocolate chips. So you do have a little bit of sugar, but that's okay. Everything in moderation, right? It's just not wanting to stick together. Now you could weigh each one of these out and make them all the same size. I'm just not going to be that meticulous about it. And last one. So we got about 11. We could have gotten a dozen out of there if we had made them a little smaller. All right, but there you go. So we're going to get cleaned up, get these in the fridge, and we're going to get started on our next snack, which is going to be ranch crackers. So I will be right back. Okay, we are back. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to mix up our seasoning. So I have a 1/4 cup of avocado oil. You can use vegetable oil. I'm using avocado oil. And to that, you can add a tablespoon of dill, a tablespoon of dried parsley, a teaspoon of garlic, and a teaspoon of onion powder. However, in one of our recent videos, we made some ranch dressing and dip mix. So we're actually going to use that because that saves us some time. And I will go ahead and I will link the video at the end. So 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of our ranch dressing mix. We're going to mix that up. We have our oven preheating to 250 degrees. And then to that, we're going to add, excuse the crinkling, a 9-ounce package of oyster crackers. So they're just soup and oyster crackers. And I'm going to coat those with our ranch dressing mix or ranch seasoning mix. You want to make sure it's all coated. And I will be right back. I got to get my cookie sheet ready. Okay, so we have our cookie sheet here. Let me move this stuff here real quick. And we're just going to spread our crackers out on our cookie sheets. So it's a single layer. I have some sticking to the spatula there. Okay, and we are going to bake these for about 15 to 20 minutes at 250 degrees. So let me get these in the oven and then we'll be back for our final snack. Okay guys, we are back. Our roasted chickpeas are out of the oven and we are going to try to put these in this cute little jar that I got from Dollar Tree. Without spilling them all over, right? Okay, so one escaped. All right, so we've got that done. Our ranch crackers are in the oven. Our energy bites are all made, and oops, got a little bit more out here. And our granola bars are chilling in the fridge. So there we have those. Let's get started on our last snack. Okay, so our next recipe, our last recipe, is going to be for a cheesy snack mix. So this is kind of a take on Chex Mix, but it's a little bit different. So what I have here is half a cup of butter. I'm going to melt that in the microwave, and I'm going to grab my roasting pan because I'm going to go ahead and mix it in here because it's easier because I have to stir it while it's cooking, so it's easier for me to stir it in the roasting pan. So let me grab my roasting pan and get this melted, and then we'll be back to get started. Okay, so I'm back and we're gonna go ahead and get started. My butter is melted. So the first thing I'm gonna need is 3 cups of mini pretzels, and I have ultra thin pretzel sticks just because that's the kind I like. 1, 2, 3. Pretzel sticks are kind of hard to measure by the cup. 3. I'm going to throw a couple extra in there for good measure. Then I need 2 cups of rice cereal, like Chex cereal. I'm using Rice Chex. 1, 2. And a cup of cheese crackers, and I'm using these baked turtles that I got at Aldi's because I thought they would be more fun than goldfish. Okay, to that we are going to add, I'm going to go ahead and mix up my seasoning and stuff in the bowl first, and then we're going to pour it over. So let me grab my measuring spoons. Might be missing a measuring spoon, but okay. So I have half a cup of melted butter. Let me switch places here. Half a cup of melted butter. To that, I am going to add 2 tablespoons of grated Parmesan cheese, and I'm just using the kind, you know, that you get in the jar. Okay. And I add a teaspoon of garlic powder, and I need half a teaspoon of paprika, regular paprika, not smoked paprika. Sometimes these are hard to, oh, there we go. Okay, and then I'm going to whisk that all up together. Okay, and I'm going to pour it over our mix. And actually, I probably didn't need this big roasting pan. I'm going to switch this out to a 9x13. Hold on a sec. I'll be right back. Okay, that's a lot better. So I have my 9x13, and I'm going to pour my seasoning and the melted butter over the top of everything. And I'm going to toss it to coat everything. You could also add some nuts in here if you want. In fact, I might add a few peanuts maybe. Well, no, I'm going to leave it the way it is. No peanuts. Not this time. You just want to make sure everything is coated with the seasoning mix. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we are going to put this in the oven and we are going to bake it at 250 degrees. It's going to bake for 45 minutes, but we are going to stir it every 15 minutes. So let me get this in the oven. Our ranch crackers are done, so we're going to put those in a jar, and we're going to cut our, actually we're not going to cut our granola bars yet. We're going to leave those chilling some more. So let me put this in the oven and get my ranch crackers, and I'll be back. Okay, we are back with our ranch crackers. They are still warm, but I'm going to put them in here. I'm just not going to put the lid on yet. I'm going to let them cool in here. And these are delicious in soup. You can add them to salads for a nice crunch. You can just eat them plain for a nice crunchy snack. The possibilities are endless. And we got to use some of our ranch dressing mix that we made last time. So for this video, we have used our ranch dressing mix, but we have also used our paprika mix that we made, our smoky paprika mix that we made. So we've used a couple of our recipes. Okay, so I'm going to keep cooking the cheesy snack mix. Oh, I'm not putting the lid on that. And then as soon as that's ready, we'll be back and we'll put that in a jar. We'll cut our granola bars and we will review what all we've done. All right, I'll be back, guys. Okay, guys, we are back. Our cheesy snack mix is out of the oven. And we're going to hope that it's going to fit into this jar. I think it will. At least I hope it will. There's a pretzel over here sneaking away. I'm going to have to set this down for a moment. We just have a little bit left. Come on, you can do it. I hope we can do it. Let's see if we can do it. It might not all fit in there. It's not. That's okay. That's okay. All right, so we got that. And we're going to get our granola bars out and cut those. Okay, so here are our granola bars. And we're going to go ahead and cut them into bars. I'll try and do it straight. No guarantees. And I'm going to get a plate to put these on. Actually, I'm going to get a container. Hold on. Okay. And in the container they go. Your kids are going to love these. You're going to love these, actually, because they are delicious. And we used pretty much whole ingredients, except for the Rice Krispies. And I think that I can make my own, basically, Rice Krispies. I just haven't done it. But maybe I'll do a video on that. If you want to see a video on me making Rice Krispies, let me know down below, and I will be happy to do that. Okay, so here's our treats. Look at that, guys. 5 snacks, homemade, that your family is going to love, and you will never have to buy snacks at the store again. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider subscribing to my channel. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up to let the algorithm know that you enjoyed it. And don't forget to hit that bell notification so that you get notified every time I upload a new video. We have lots of videos coming down the line. I'm working on a video right now on how to use a rotisserie chicken to make 5 meals, weeknight meals that your family will love. It's the best grocery store hack. I will go ahead and link my DIY spice mix video so that you can see how we did the paprika spicy blend. And I will also link, I think it's in the baking mixes or pantry mix video for the ranch dressing. So, all right guys, I will see you on the next one. Bye!